Welcome back everyone. So there's a lot of hype about Google Stitch. So I thought why not just try it out and see what this hype is all about. So a lot of people are calling it the Figma killer because it generates entire prototypes from just a single PRD. And yes, it feels magical because the tech is really insane and you just paste in a description and it generates a dedicated design system. It generates all the screens based on your requirements with consistent UI across. And upon that, the voice feature is really amazing. It feels more magical because recently I posted a video about how Kera AI is using this voice mode for collaborative ideations. And it seems like this trend is going to continue in other apps as well. But yeah, let's jump on and see what this hype is all about. So I've already tried Google Stitch last year. So if you can see here, these are the experiments that I've done last year. And I've experimented a few even now as well. So I definitely should say that there's a massive leap in improvement. And as you can see, these are some of the older iterations and these are very templatized iterations and it was using material. It didn't have any other design styles that it can use. But moving on, now they have updated it and there's a massive leap in improvements. So these are the 5 major upgrades that they are sharing. One is a AI native canvas, there is smarter design assistant, voice mode, instant prototyping, and design systems and design MD. So this one is a really great improvement because it helps you in maintaining the design system and the consistency across the various screens that you're creating. So let's have a look at what these are. So I've already tried a couple of prompts and these are some generic prompts, I must say, and even the results that you see are quite generic. But overall, if you look closely into the details, it is technically correct, but it lacks the soul of a good or a senior designer. So a tool like Stitch follows rules perfectly, but it doesn't know when to break them, right? Because a good designer really knows when to break rules for the sake of a good text for the user, right? So that is something Stitch or AI can't be doing right now. So that's why I would say that it has gotten pretty well in creating or generating UI. But coming to UX, it still needs a lot of improvement. And every time it improves based on the data that we train it with, right? Good designers are going to be a step ahead because good designers, they would explore and find new trends and understand the users much better. So this was just a generic prompt and you can see the results are also quite generic here. And let's quickly look at the interface, right? The initial one that you saw is you can get started from the home screen, right? So if I go back to projects here, this is the interface where you can just get started with a new project. And once you give in your prompt, it'll start generating this. It'll first get started with a design system, right? So like a UI kit that you see here, and it'll create an MD file for this as well. So if I just go into it, here you can see the design.md file. It's basically nothing but a set of instructions clearly on all the different primary colors or the whole UI kit that it has to use, right? So this is the context which helps the AI here in generating consistent screens across any requirement that you give. So that's a really game changer. Apart from that, this is where the AI thinking shows up. So once the AI agent is started to think, it'll show you all what it's thinking and what it's gonna do here. And then once you have multiple requirements, it'll initiate multiple AI agents here to do the task. So that is what shows up here. And this is where you start iterating and reimagining things. So I can just click on a particular frame here and tell it a particular change and it'll change it, right? So these are some add-on prompts. So basically like change this to a dark mode. If I click this, it'll start the work. As you can see, a new agent is created here and this agent will start working on this screen for this particular prompt. Apart from that, you can start giving screenshots and multiple generations. And this is again just your theme. And then you have the models. So one thing I've noticed is if you're using the 3.1 Pro, the results are much more better. If you use 3 Flash, it is much more faster, but the results are a little more templatized. And those are the models that you can pick from. And then this is the voice mode. You can start giving it commands just with voice and it'll start talking to you back and forth. And then you can start iterating on the designs as well. So that is what is there on the bottom. And on the right side, you have these options. Again, just a couple of tools to select, to mark, and this one is to edit. So you can go into this tool and start editing things right here. Then the other common tools, uploading screenshots for panning, and this is your design system. And then you can favorite layers here. So I can just add this to favorite and all these will show up here. So yeah, that is how the interface is. And here you can see it has just changed it to a dark mode and it has changed a lot of the typography and things like that, right? So yeah, that is how you start ideating on it. And here is the new UI kit, which is for the dark mode. So yeah, that is pretty much about the interface, right? And I must say that once you give in normal prompts, it doesn't work that great. So these are the results that you get with generic prompts. Yeah, but apart from this, I also tried some advanced prompts. So if I can show you this one right here. So this is the detailed prompt that I've given for this particular design. It is a very detailed prompt with each and everything that I've explained it, the brand colors, the accent colors to go with the kind of style I want, the kind of content that we need, right? So with such a detailed prompt, this is the kind of result that I've got. And with little more iteration where I've just asked it a couple of more changes, this is the kind of result that it generates, right? So again, it's completely responsive. So I asked it to make some changes on the hero section to make it all center aligned with a Milky Way animation in the background. And you can see the results are pretty good. It is much more better than having a very templatized prompt, right? So if you give it a very generic prompt, then the results are average. But if you give it a much more advanced detailed prompt, these are the kind of results that you. And apart from this, you have all the other different features, right? So you can ask it to prototype and it instantly creates a prototype for you, which is more clickable and things like that. And finally, once you're done designing, the best part is the export, right? So once you click on export, you can just take it to Figma, you can take it to AI Studio and start iterating more on the functionality side of it, right? So those are the different things. You have Figma, you have MCP, instant prototype. You can use build with AI Studio, which is the main CTA. So yeah, again, iterating that it is actually generating really good UI, which a beginner or a mid designer would do with everything very consistent, the kind of caps and everything it's using, the padding and the margins and stuff, which is again a set of rules that it's trying to follow. So it's very aesthetically looking good. But yeah, designers, the top 1% designers are the ones who would still be relevant because they are the ones who are going to take a step forward in exploring more things and creating something very unique for a particular brand, right? Because it is good at following rules as you see, but it's not going to follow the brand strategy that a company needs, right? Let me know in the comments below, is this a tool that actually is a threat to your job, or is it just the end of a boring, repetitive UI work? Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. And as always, thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next one.